Develop now the ability to act. Activity now is the catalyst and the miracle piece of the process. Here's a little subject called How to Turn Nothing into Something. Number one, first, imagine the possibilities. Imagination is the first step of the miracle of possibilities. Reality first starts with imagination. Now, it's hard to call imagination nothing, but it's not something in terms of a podium. It's not tangible. So it's hard to say how to turn nothing into something, because nothing is, there isn't anything that's nothing. Everything is something, even if it's the imagination, it's something. Einstein once said, there's nothing faster than the speed of light. And Bill Bailey, one of my mentors, current mentors and longtime friend, said, maybe here's something faster than the speed of light, and that's thought. It's possible that thought could be faster than the speed of light. How fast can you think back and think ahead? I guess we can't say the exact same instant, but all we can say is it seems like the exact same instant. You know, if you don't know the truth, you can't say that's true. And if you're not a scientist, it'd be, you know, a little out of order to say, yes, this is true. But here's what it seems like. It's possible to think back and ahead at the same time. I mean, how fast is that? To think back and think ahead. But it's one of those marvelous capabilities that we all have, and in your personal development quest of getting stronger and more vital, both physically and spiritually and mentally, now use this exercise to think back and gather more experience. Think ahead how to apply it, so that the experience now multiplies in value by 2, by 3, by 5, by 10. That's key. Now, how to turn nothing into something. Number one, imagine the possibilities. Today, if we had a chance to hear everybody's testimonial of how you got where you are, some of you went from nothing to something, some of you went from pennies to fortune, and if we had a chance to hear everybody's story here today, took the time, guess what those stories would conclude? Those stories would conclude the possibilities are absolutely endless and unlimited. So number one, imagine the possibilities. Read an inspiring book one more time, how someone went from nothing to something. The story of a Sarah Alfaro who started with $1, now she's rich. Wow. The possibilities, they're unending. Now here's the next step. Imagine that some of the possibilities are possible for you. We call this now faith. Now we start with imagination, now we generate faith. What generates faith? Faith is generated sometimes when the testimonial closes like this. If I can do it, what? You could do it. I started behind. I started under the basement, not in the basement. I started with debt, not surplus. I didn't start with pennies. I had no pennies. Debt's up to here. Finally got it turned around. Now everything's flourishing. That's what we want to hear. And then someone in a testimonial like that says, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. Here's what that does. Reassures our faith. Keep reading, keep listening to the testimonials. One, that excite the imagination as to the possibilities. And number two, helps faith to occur. That what's possible for one is possible for another. Now here's the third step of faith. Or the third step in the miracle process. To deposit your imagination and faith into high activity. Disciplined activity. Not just activity, but skillful, disciplined. Take the classes to learn the skills. Get around people that'll teach you the disciplines. And then deposit your imagining the possibilities and believing that it's possible for you. Deposit that now into what we call high activity. Make this note now. Activity finishes the miracle process of turning nothing into something. Activity finishes the miracle process. I'm positive that's why the formula was given of 6 days of working miracles and 1 day of rest, to ponder how it's going. How is my miracle working process working? Have I missed some? Devote 6 days to the working of miracles. The 7th day to rest and reflect and go back over, and a bit of study. Yes, spiritual, yes, church, yes, synagogue, yes, family, yes, social, yes, friends. But see if you can't now come up with a plan to increase your activity or refine your activity, sharpen it so that it produces major results. Here's the next one. Take joy in the work. I couldn't wait to get here today to share my story one more time. I'm already pondering the testimonials that may come out of a class like this next year, a year from now, 5 years from now, if I happen to meet some of you and you say, on that summer weekend in Anaheim, I finally got it. The lights went on for me. Something you said and something someone else said finally made sense. And I hooked it together, and here's what's happened. That's going to be extraordinary. Right? That's why we're here, to do this work. I was excited this morning about being here. Couldn't wait to hear what I've got to say. A lady asked me one time, she said, Mr. Rohn, over the last few years I've been to your seminars now several times. Every time I see you, you're all excited. Things seem to be going great for you. How do you stay so excited all the time? And I said, I think it's because I attend all these seminars. Because make this note now, because it's very valuable. If you struggle to make something clear for someone else, it helps to make it more clear for you. If one person listens and one person speaks, there is the opportunity for transformation for both. The listener to be enlightened, to see something he never saw before, but the speaker to be better educated on how to present it by struggling with the language. Words are clumsy sometimes when you try to express what's going on in your head, let alone your heart and spirit. But the more you struggle to make it clear, the clearer it gets for you. So that both the listener could be transformed by what he hears, and the speaker could be transformed by the exercise of speaking, trying to make it clear.